What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And Wrestledream was a complete mess. A complete mess from start to finish. Let's have it right. And they've been on quite a run. And without the likes of Swerve, Ospreay, MJF not being around, you really are starting to feel it, really, aren't you? And the way they kicked this show off, and the way it finished just left a bad taste. Bad taste. Let's start it, shall we? From how they started, with the piss poor time management. How are you starting a pay-per-view in the middle of a match? There's a match going on in the ring whilst the pay-per-view is starting. Supposedly overrun from the pre-show, but no one watches. And how are FTR? Well, last time I saw them, they were pile driving Beth Phoenix. How are they curtain jerking a pay-per-view now? In a nothing match, I mean, absolutely nothing against Jet Speed, and they're having to get the cheap Bobby Heenan leg trip win with Stoke. The match itself sucked arse. The slaps, the 3 count from the backslide that was botched. Speedball is awful, absolutely dreadful. Knight's okay. FTR though, they should be able to beat this team easily. They don't need the help to beat this, and they shouldn't need the help to be able to beat this team. And we're giving these matches now honest ratings. We're going to be honest here. We're not going to be biased anymore. We're not going to see biased ratings. We're going to have honest star ratings right here, right now. And we're starting off giving this one a 2 stars. Now, 2 stars is a good match. Or decent match. 1 star, boring, dreadful. 2 stars, decent. 3, good. 4, awesome. 5, GOAT level. There ain't many that get to that level, trust me. There's no 6s, 7.5 star matches, 9.5 star matches. Trust me, you're not getting them here. There are not many matches that should reach a 5-star level, in my opinion. There is a handful of them in my eyes, in my opinion. And that's what a star rating is, my opinion. Anyone's opinion. Anyone can give stars. We've got to talk about Lou Thesz's wife being ringside, I suppose. She was there. Excalibur, Schiavone on commentary, they were there. Why they're there, who knows? They're 2 of the worst commentators of all time, and Nigel McGuinness ain't far behind. They were awful. All 3 of them were awful tonight. Awful. All throughout the show, just bumbling over words, especially Excalibur. He is dreadful. And Schiavone just saying, "Oh, this is the greatest. Oh, this is what it means to be an AEW." Oh, he is just dreadful. And they meant to kick the show off with Jamie Hayter versus Thekla. That was meant to kick the show off, was it? I mean, yeah, the match started okay. But it got boring real quick, and the crowd played along as well because they seemed bored and they were silent and felt like we were in a library. I mean, Hayter finally won with 2 clotheslines, and was this great story finally finished? Does it come to an end? Who knows? Who cares? Nobody cares about Thekla and her spider. What should have started the show, in my opinion, was Jurassic Express, Jungle Love. Could you imagine all the people up and dancing? Get you in the mood. Whoa. That would have got people up and dancing. That would have got them in the mood. That would have got you going, wouldn't it? Bit of Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. At least there's a story there. It's okay. It's not the best story. Let's have it right, but it's a story. Heading into this one, there's a feud there. It goes back. It dates back. The Jungle Jack and the Bucks. The Broke Bucks. There's a story there for this 500k as well. Makes sense a little bit, I suppose. And the match was good. It was a good tag team match, and we've got to give it 2 stars. What I didn't enjoy was the afterbirth. Why do we need the Don Callis family interfering in everything? Why do we need the Don Callis family full stop? We'll get more on Don Callis family later because they ain't done on this show. Here comes Kenny Omega to make the save, and it looks like we're turning the Bucks babyface again. Again. They can't make their minds up. Are they heels? Are they babyfaces? Are they heels? Are they babyfaces? It's going backwards and forwards so quickly now. It's getting a bit ridiculous. Kenny Omega makes a save, and this whole thing just could have been saved for Dynamite, couldn't it? They really didn't need another Don Callis family, Kenny Omega segment. Do we really need it? Do we really need this feud to carry on any longer? Kenny Omega and Don Callis. How long has that been going for? Oh, do me. Can we get rid of Don Callis? And we'll talk more about him in a bit, but we've got a Tornado Trios match. The Demand. The Ricochet is okay. And one half is all right of the Gates of Agony. The other half is dreadful. Let's have it right. Hurt Syndicate, I enjoy Shelton Benjamin. MVP has seen better days. And Bobby Lashley, I'm not a massive fan of Bobby Lashley. He's okay to a point, and I've seen enough. I've seen enough of this feud. Fine, hopefully it's over now. It seems like the Hurt Syndicate are number 1 contenders for the Trios tag titles, and we're getting Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley. That could be quite interesting. Shelton Benjamin and Samoa Joe, that could be quite interesting. I mean, let's see what happens there. Honest rating for that one, though, for that Trios match, 2 stars, because I've seen it 3 times now and it hasn't got any better. It really hasn't. The TNT Championship was on the line. Kyle Fletcher along with Don fucking Callis again. Oh, how many times have we got to see Don Callis on this show and his family? They're everywhere. They're all over this show. They're all over every show, and it's just making it worse. They're on Death Rider level. They're on the Dick Rider level. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand Don Callis and his whole fucking family. 95% of that family mean fuck all. They really do. What are they doing with 95% of them? The only 3 that matter are Kyle Fletcher, Okada, and Takeshita. The rest, if they left tomorrow, you wouldn't miss them. You wouldn't know they weren't there. They don't matter. So get rid of them. All of them. They're just a waste of time, waste of space, waste of money. They're not over. They're not getting over. They never will be. It's not working. Nor is Kyle Fletcher along with Don Callis. It's not. Fletcher's better off on his own. He can talk. He can work. Why does he need Don Callis? Seriously, honestly, why? What is the need for Don Callis to come onto commentary and botch that as well? He's fucking awful. Just get rid of him, Cyrus the fucking virus. We don't need him. What we needed was Mark Briscoe winning the title. That could have been interesting, and have Kyle Fletcher chasing for a little bit and win it back, cheat to win it back. But nope. Kyle Fletcher retains, and now it's Mark Briscoe done, isn't it? He's just going to be laughing and joking with the conglomeration. Oh, the worst, another crap faction. Babyface factions don't work. They don't. They never have done. They never will do. And this one, just like, it's like a rip-off of Friends. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh. Then we got 2 women's matches. Anyway, let me give it a star rating though before that. 2 stars for Fletcher and Briscoe. It was decent. Decent. They've had 5 matches now, and Was that any better than the ones we've seen before? Honestly, Briscoe deserves better. He really does. He really did from the beginning. From the beginning of this company, him and his brother deserve better. They really did. AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander versus Toni Storm. And I've seen enough of Toni Storm. She's starting to annoy me, to be honest with you. She really is. This whole build, this whole story, her with the title recently, before that, it was getting annoying. And it's grating on me, and she's grating on me, and Statlander is okay. They're not setting anything on fire here. They're not doing anything special. They really aren't. It wasn't anything special. This match was kind of boring, to be honest with you, and I'd give it 1 star. Then they went and done another women's match. Here comes Mercedes Moné straight out of the gate after this match. Stares down Statlander, and I'm thinking, is Statlander going to be her opponent for this open challenge for any champion to challenge her? Why not do it right there and then? Would have been something to talk about, I suppose. Instead, who do we get? Mina and the ROH Interim TV Championship. Wow. Another title no one gives a fuck about. She's got 11 titles and no one gives a fuck about 10 of them. The tag team championships were on the line. 1 star for Mina and Monet. Tag team championships were on the line. And this was one of the better matches of the show. I did enjoy this. And Bandido is killing it at the moment. He's fantastic. Brody's okay. But Bandido, they should be pushing to the moon. He's like killing it. He's the best luchador in wrestling, in my opinion, at the moment. Takeshita, the new IWGP champion, had a decent match with Zack Sabre Jr. If you didn't see it, go watch that. This was good. The only problem is Okada, in my opinion. He needs a rocket up his arse. He really does. If he went any slower, he'd go backwards. It's like he's wrestling in mud. He's so bad. This is not the Okada from New Japan. I don't know who he is, who this guy is, but this twin Okada is fucking dreadful. He really is. I don't mind the story with Okada and Takeshita, but it's Okada. He's terrible. He really is. And he ruined this match for me. He really did. It would have been a lot better if he weren't in it, if it was someone else. If it was the Okada from New Japan. If they could go and get him, whatever happened to him, this guy, useless. Absolutely useless. 2 stars. Sorry. It was decent. It was a decent tag match. Could have been good if we got the New Japan Okada. The AEW World Championship was on the line, and it was pretty obvious, if it wasn't to you, that Adam Page was not dropping the title here. It was pretty obvious that Samoa Joe weren't winning it, but what wasn't too obvious was what Joe did after the match. It was a good match. I enjoy heel Samoa Joe, and why Samoa Joe ain't the champion, I don't know, but it was pretty obvious, and I wanted Joe to win. I hoped Joe would win, but it felt pretty obvious that he wasn't going to. That somehow, some way, Hangman Page would survive and thrive and win the title and retain the title, And because we're doing bits with Hangman at the moment, aren't we? We're doing so well with Hangman as a champion. I'm sorry, I haven't enjoyed Hangman as champion. He hasn't been as good as I thought it would be. Sooner MJF gets back and wins that title, the better, in my opinion. Well, I used to be a fan of Hangman, but recently I haven't enjoyed it. I haven't enjoyed him. The match was decent. It was good. I'd give it 3 stars. I did enjoy what happened afterwards. The Ops turning on him and beating the shit out of him. And yeah, we'll see where we go from there. I did think that maybe they injured Page for MJF and he was going to come out and challenge him. And we were going to get a match on Dynamite or somewhere down the line with MJF and Hangman. Hopefully sooner rather than later, MJF will return and we'll get back to where we left off and MJF will be champion and all will be right with the world again. But we have to talk about the main event because that wasn't the end of the show, unfortunately. If you did switch off, you're lucky because you missed one of the most ridiculous, pointless main events of all time. The I Quit match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. The fact alone that this match was allowed to main event this show and Jon Moxley is still main eventing shows is criminal, is ridiculous, is pointless. It's stupid. This match was absolute bullshit. It was ridiculous. If you enjoy this shit, what is wrong with you? This ain't professional. That weren't professional wrestling, what we saw towards the end there. It's not. How are you enjoying seeing people shoving splinters or whatever that was, those sticks in people's nails? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? That's not professional wrestling when you're trying to drown someone in a ring. What the fuck was that? And after everything they did to each other, I ain't going through it all because it was a load of bullshit. It was a load of Moxley shit that we've seen time and time and time again, and it's never getting over. No one's enjoying it. No one's going, oh, it was amazing. No, everyone's walking away because of Jon Moxley, and he's killing this company. He really is. If that's what he wants to do, he's succeeding. He really is. Him in main events, him in main storylines, him in any storyline, the Death Riders, all of it is a reason this company is in the state it's in. Him and his bullshit. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. After everything they did to each other, the way they end the match, we get Sting, Grandpa Sting, Father Claus Sting, Santa Claus Sting, grey hair. What the hell? What the hell? And then the sharpshooter, the shittiest sharpshooter you will ever see. I hope Bret Hart wasn't watching. Good Lord. That's what wins the match. After everything they did to each other, that is what won the match. Jon Moxley flopping around like a fish in a puddle of water at the end. Ridiculous. The Death Riders getting involved. Ridiculous yet again. It's just the same old shit, and the way they finished it was dreadful. I hope we've seen the end of Jon Moxley, but I know he's just going to come back out on Wednesday, and it's going to be more. They're going to be going back at it again, Darby and Jon, because they've had one win each, and now they'll probably do a third match. Dear Lord, dear God, really? Do we have to put up with more? Really? Come on. Everyone's had enough of this Death Rider bullshit. Just end it, please. Let me know what you think. Have you had enough of the Death Rider? Have you had enough of Jon Moxley being in main events? Darby Allin, in my opinion, deserves so much better. He doesn't need to do that shit. He doesn't. He's got a great character. There's a great story there behind him. He can go in the ring. He's a good wrestler. He doesn't need all that hardcore bullshit that Jon Moxley does. He doesn't. He really doesn't. He's so much better than that. So much better than that. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.